So the reports keep coming in regarding a new PlayStation 4 model coming out from Sony, and today we got some rather detailed specifics that have been laid out by the website Giantbomb, who claim that they've been sent documents from sources that they trust. It reads sort of like developer notes, and it lays out the differences between the new model PlayStation 4 and the old one. So the new one, we've kind of been nicknaming it in the community PlayStation 4.5 or PlayStation 4K. Again, that's just a nickname, it's not the official. According to these documents, Sony has dubbed this Neo. So apparently whoever names projects at Sony, has kind of like this Matrix fetish or fascination, which I don't blame them. Matrix was a badass movie, especially the first one, so I'm digging these names. Again, though, this is not the official name, it's just the project name. You had Project Morpheus, which was PlayStation VR, and now we've got Neo. So is Neo the one? Makes you wonder when Trinity might show up. But here are the differences in the machine specs according to this report. The CPU is clocked faster, but it's the same CPU, so that's a little disappointing, but it is a modest jump, but not huge. The GPU, however, though, is a fairly substantial jump, and that goes along with previous reports that other websites have been reporting on, saying that the GPU was going to be about twice as the original. It's also got faster memory. Now, as I've mentioned before in past videos, they say that Neo is going to be capable of outputting 4K images, but just like how the Xbox upscales to 1080p, this is going to upscale to 4K, so it's not going to be native. But one area Giantbomb says Sony stresses time and time again throughout these documents for developers is that the Neo version of a game must meet or exceed the frame rate of a game on the original PlayStation 4. So I've told you before, that's my biggest complaint this generation, is that a lot of games not only didn't ever get to the 60 frames per second, which is where they should be. I think that's the priority, is frames per second. But a lot of games can't even keep a steady 30 frames per second, So Sony is really stressing that frames per second is a must in this new version, which I stand behind 110%. They say starting in October, all games that are shipped for the PlayStation 4 are required to ship with both a base mode for the original PlayStation 4 and also a Neo mode, which they say will be used on the new console. So again, you can expect better frames per second on this new console, and of course, devs can also take advantage of the hardware to make the games just look better overall. So you're going to get better looking games, better performing games on the new PlayStation 4 model. The new Neo mode isn't meant to phase out the original PlayStation 4. Sony is still going to sell the original base model. This is meant to coexist beside it. Sony explicitly tells developers that they have to offer the same features, the same gameplay options for both consoles. So you're not going to have something where they're going to be offering like DLC or exclusive games for the new model PS4. They said they want to keep the community all together, so you're going to be able to play together with people on the different consoles. Everything's going to be the same. They have to have everything else in the game. So the only difference is possibly the performance and the graphics. So you're going to get the same game, same features, just the quality may be different on the better version of the console. Previous games aren't going to automatically run better on the new system unless developers put out a patch that takes advantage of that new hardware, which of course they can, and they have the option to do that. So a lot of people have been complaining about games like, Bloodborne and other exclusives on the PlayStation 4 that, again, didn't run as smooth as what people would like them to. So I would look for a lot of exclusives to get that update from Sony. There's no official launch date for the Neo version of PlayStation 4, but if all games in October have to have a patch, it isn't that far-fetched to think that this could come out alongside the PlayStation VR, which Giantbomb notes is not mentioned in the documents that they currently have in their possession. And the price of Neo is expected to be $399. And again, Neo is just a project name, and until Sony officially announces anything, I mean, these should all be considered just rumors, but I think as many different reputable sites that are publishing this information, the same information coming from different individual sources, I'd say that there's gonna be some fire around all this smoke. So post below, what do you think about Neo, and are you interested in this sort of upgrades? Stay tuned to videogamesandnews.com for the latest developments. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.